Hi everybody and welcome to broadcast number 10. Today, following my news and news from the localities, we'll feature Brian and Alphonse's relationship. We'll then see the photos from our regular events of last week, whilst giving you the opportunity to message me. And I'll follow this with Chris's journey, finishing with my responses to your messages, so enjoy. It was my Jed's birthday last Sunday and we had a lovely day. I made 2 chocolate fudge cakes. I dropped some off at Michael and Lizzie's door and some at my brother's. Lily made her own because she's so far away. And then at 7 o'clock we had our family Zoom where we were able to sing happy birthday to Jed and to eat cake. I think I need to stop making cakes now. I don't think I've gone a day in lockdown without cake. We remain very fortunate with our COVID-19 stats. Still no one with the virus and 1 assistant off with COVID-related absence. We do have 10 staff off with other sickness. Now, since the government have lifted some of the restrictions, I'm sure that people are eager to see their families. However, I would ask everybody to remain cautious. We're still maintaining that we don't want any non-essential visitors into any of our accommodation. We believe that people are still vulnerable and we need to minimise the risks. But we do recognise that the families may want to see their loved ones and don't want to wait any longer. So we will facilitate this as much as we can, but it'll have to be outside. Please liaise with the manager of the service if you want this to happen. I've got another message this week from Lauren, our national leader in L'Arche, so I'll read it out. This week's feast, Pentecost again unites Christianity, the faith at the root of L'Arche, and the faith of my ancestors, Judaism. It marks the day that the Holy Spirit descended upon the disciples of Jesus, which coincided with the Jewish festival of Shavuot, the spring harvest. In Judaism, this festival marks the giving of the Torah, the books of the first covenant that Christians all call the Old Testament, sometimes described as a wedding between God and oneness and humanity. It's fascinating that despite their diversity, each listener heard God's Spirit's words in their own language, a reminder that people of all faiths and none are united in both the inevitability of change in our world and in our ability to connect and be guided by something higher than the pitfalls of our flawed human condition. It reminds us that despite the challenges that we inevitably face in life, which are particularly present in L'Arche today as we begin to process the negative aspects of our founder and in the world as we live through the coronavirus pandemic, we are all capable of being guided by something deeper and more meaningful. I invite you to reflect on how this period of transition can ignite something new that unites us all in our vision and strengthens our mission while remaining true to that which is beautiful from our past. So thank you once again, Lauren, for this inclusive and thought-provoking message. So now for the news from around our localities. In Green Lane, they had a barbecue last week in the glorious sunshine. Deborah joined in the Glee Club yet again. Peter's family visited and were able to see him outside in the garden, which was lovely for Peter and lovely for the family. And Deborah Skyped her brother Frank in Hong Kong. In St. Sebastian's, everybody was making the most of the lovely weather, having fun in the garden. We had Anne, Rachel, Hannah and Dave. They were all playing around with Alan's dog. Rachel and Ursula were relaxing in the sun in their lovely sun hats. And it's lovely to see Carleen and Peter having such a laugh. Hannah and David had their lunch al fresco. And Carleen and Hannah were feeding the squirrels. A big shout out to Anne and Les, who remain in their flat shielding. They're well fed up with not being able to go out. So hiya, Anne and Les, and I hope you're doing okay. Can't wait to see you soon. The harbour have also been enjoying the sunshine. I think we've got a lovely photo of Andy sitting in the garden. and of Sue at the front of the harbour looking very happy. And at St John's, Ian celebrated his birthday last Friday with a Zoom party. It was lovely, and all of his friends from near and far joined in, and Ian really enjoyed it. So it's now time to focus on Brian and Alphonse's relationship, so sit back, hope you enjoy it.
Hello, your name is?
Brian,
And my name is?
Alphonse.
Yes, and I come from Barcelona, and I met Brian 7 years ago when I started large in the Coracle, in a house called the Coracle, when I met also David, Ian, Nicola and Annie. Well, I heard about large 7 years ago from a friend, a French guy, that I met him in a speaking group, one of these groups that we meet people from different countries, and we learn different languages about just speaking to each other. So he really recommended to apply for large because I was looking for a job, and he said, "Oh, you would really enjoy the job there. People are so friendly, so just try to apply." And so I did it, and here I am after 7 years. So I first started in the house called the Coracle 7 years ago, and I met Brian. Right, Brian, in the Coracle?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
who else was in the Coracle?
Brian. Brian, Alphonse, Dave.
Dave.
Dave, Nicky, Annie, Liam,
Nikki, Annie, and Ian.
Annie.
So when I first started, there was a bit of struggles because I haven't worked in care before, and also, do you remember, Brian? I was struggling to make out what were you trying to tell me on the routines.
Yeah.
Remember? And so Brian uses certain keywords to let you know what he wants. So there's a bit of a language barrier there that you need to learn and need to understand what Brian is trying to say. And Brian, you were very clever because you were helping me and telling me what was next in the routine. But still the struggle was there, and you were also clever when I couldn't make out what he was saying. So he had to just wait, and then he called an experienced assistant. It was Julia, and Julia. So she just came upstairs and she asked Brian, what do you need? And Brian just said what he needed, and she just translate me or tell me what Brian was trying to say to me. So after these struggles, obviously things were getting better, and things were coming easy. And also Brian was helping me a lot through all the learning process. And do you remember, Brian, when we planned the first holidays? It was actually the second holiday when we went abroad. That's when I found out that you, Brian, liked to go on an airplane. Right, Brian?
Yeah.
So we planned a trip to Barcelona with Brian. So what we visit there in Barcelona? Yeah. We went and we see the monuments, and you take the airplane there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went with Julia to Barcelona, and Brian had the chance to go there, and it was really exciting because it was my hometown. So I feel closer with Brian than ever. So Brian could see all the places and all the spots I've been, around and living there. So one of the first things I remember from the trip to Barcelona is when Brian met my family. It was really cool because well, it was challenging first because my parents didn't learn didn't know to speak English, and so it was difficult to translate what Brian was telling them and what they wanted to tell Brian. So my mom was asking him things like, "Did you like the city?" But he was saying in Spanish, so I would have to try to explain to Brian, right, Brian?
Yeah.
So after that funny moments, because it was a bit crazy translating from one side to another, we went for sightseeing, and Brian was really excited to go and see the places in Barcelona. And we just went to a big cathedral in the heart of Barcelona, and so I was really worried because the mass was in Catalan. So I thought, Brian, maybe, I don't know if you would enjoy the mass. But when we just got into church and Brian was actually following the mass in English at the same time where the priest was saying in Catalan, so he was really enjoying a lot the mass. And I was really impressed with you, Brian, and all that time there. So this memory, it will always stay with me, right, Brian?
Yeah.
When I first started the job, I felt a lot of responsibility because I had to support Brian with all the activities. So I was, on one hand, I was worried if I would really engage with Brian in all these activities, but it was really I was really pleased because he liked a lot of things that I enjoy, like going to the cinema. So we like Star Wars movies. So we've been going to the cinema and watching movies together. Obviously, the holidays is just a lovely time to go and do sightseeing together. That's one of the most things I enjoy doing with you, Brian. Anything going out to the pub and enjoying the meal together. And when we go and we go to Wetherspoon, Brian, and we order chicken and
Curry.
chicken curry, yeah. And then we also go out, or we meet some friends when we celebrate your birthday, Brian. It's really lovely. So we have what we have on your birthday?
Yeah.
We have cake.
Yeah. Alphonse. Alphonse.
Yeah, with Alphonse. What do you enjoy doing with Alphonse?
Campo.
The time in the coracle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had lovely times in the coracle. And when we go out?
Yeah.
Ah. Why this friendship is so special to me? I wouldn't know how to put it in words. I think it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling of every day caring about you, Brian. So it becomes from supporting Brian and helping Brian to care about him. So it's an everyday feeling that I learn about it. People often ask me why I'm still in Large, why I like so much this job. If I go back, I wouldn't see myself where I am now. I came from a different background. It's in sales. So the first thing my thoughts were I wouldn't be good to this job, and or I might be not enjoy the job. But I learned a lot about this because I just had to go out of my comfort zone, which I really like, but I had to do it. and it really paid back because I really enjoyed so much supporting Brian, and obviously I've been quite good at it, so I wasn't expecting at all, and it became something really grateful and pleasant to me. Also, what it keeps me going, it keeps me here in Larch, is it's a simple thing. It's the guys. It's Brian, you, David, all the guys here in the house. It's what it keeps me going. Yeah. Now in these current crazy times, we are missing a lot of activities, a lot of things that you, Brian, and me, we enjoy doing together. But I promise you, Brian, things will go back to normal. Yeah, we're gonna keep going the things we were doing. We're going to the pub. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having chicken and chips and chicken curry.
Chicken curry.
Yeah. And meeting the friends for meals. Yeah, going to the harbor.
Yeah.
Meet Fran, Tommy,
Wendy.
Francie, yeah, and also going on holidays with the aeroplane.
Yeah.
I'd like to say thank you to Larch because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't come out of this comfort zone, and I wouldn't learn what I've learned about our friendship and about giving me the opportunity to come from scratch, from another background, and just being so friendly and welcome, and especially you, Brian, for helping me so much through all this journey and this experience we had together. Thank you, Brian. I think you're a true friend. I love you so much, Brian. Thank you, Brian.
So how lovely was that? So emotional. Well done, and thank you for sharing your story, Brian and Alphonse. Next week's relationship will feature Betty and Amelia. So don't forget to get in touch if you'd like to tell us about a special relationship that you have. Now let's look at clips of last week's activities. And don't forget that whilst you're watching, you can message me and I will respond later.
Ian, you're a good friend, and we've been friends for more than half our lives, for a long, long time. Is that right? Yeah? Since we both came to March. You what?
It's a letter here. He's got the letter, your own printed off in his room.
Oh, good. The letter, because we did a letter together the other day, didn't we? And that letter was about how we've been friends for such a long time, and when we're friends.
And it's been a great blessing knowing you. And it's also a great blessing to see old members of the Coracle team.
Yeah.
Bye, Ian. Bye, Ian.
Bye, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, bye. Bye. Bye.
Alice's Army. We've got to say, very cracking effort there with the costume, Alice's Army. We're expecting big things from last week's winners. Hello, everybody. Okay. I can't. Carol, can we take your team name down?
Billy No Mates.
Billy No Mates again, possibly joined by a guest later on. Peter and Oliver, have you got a team name, guys?
Skywalkers.
Cool. What is it, Ollie? Go on, hit us with your team name again, Oliver.
Skywalkers.
Hello. It's Silk Puddings, guys. Puddings.
Silk Puddings?
Yes.
You're the person, you know. We're going to admit someone from the waiting room.
I think we should actually sack technical next week.
We'll have to see. So hopefully you've all totted up your scores for a maximum score of 10 for that round. We're going to go to a gallery view so we can all see each other's lovely faces. And we're going to come to you one by one. We'll start once more with Billy No Mates, I believe. Billy No Mates.
No. Was it 2 points for no and one for the song and one for the artist?
Correct, yes.
I only got 5, but I did get in the job in Lizzie.
Oh, well done. Fair play. Fair play. Well, by the way, everyone, if you'd like to rename your chat name to your team name, you can do so by clicking the 3 blue dots next to your picture and pressing rename. If you fancy, you don't have to. We'll come to Benjamino. If you'd like to unmute yourself.
Yes.
1. How many did you get?
6.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Benjamino, let's just going up and up.
God knows.
Top of the league. So flat 4, girl power.
Yeah, we got in total 9 out of 10.
Well 9 out of 10. Oh. Quite a big team effort there. Well done, guys. Well done, well done. We'll come to you, Skywalkers. Skywalkers.
0.
How many?
0.
It's a bit hit and miss. It's a 50-50.
Oh, I think he's got to go.
We'll let you know if he's still here.
He's got to go.
I do like the maracas though.
Yes,
previous tech support, no maracas. There was flawless technique. So
I think we need a balance of the two, though. I had 3rd and 4th.
yeah. So if you came in 3rd or 4th, no. We're sorted. So we've got the scores here.
We have.
So Luna, do you want to hit us with last place?
So last place.
9.
And then we got 1st position.
Joint 2nd place. Joint 2nd place.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Was the
Joint
Silk
second.
Puddings. Bravo. Joint 2nd there. Well done, guys. Naturally. And in 1st place is the fabulous Liverpool 2. Liverpool 2. We now get the high five.
gone again. It's gone again.
It was Austin.
Bye.
Well, that was great to watch, wasn't it? It's so fabulous to see so many people engaged in the activities. And now for Chris's journey, so hope you like this.
So in '94, this is where I started volunteering.
You can just take that over to the new pizza.
I grew up in the area, Molyneux Road, about 10 minutes away. I used to go to, first time I went to Anfield was when I was 2, my cousin brought me. I've been a big Reds ever since. I didn't know Larsh existed, and at the time I didn't think I'd spend half my working life here. So a little bit of a history before I started working here. I left school and I was a wood machinist for 3 years. Made redundant. I was always interested in art. I thought I was only made redundant the last few days, and then I seen a poster for what I thought was an open day for Art Foundation. So the open day, what I thought was the open day, I went in and sat in. They'd taken my name when I'd arrived, and I just sat in and listened to what they were saying. And at the end of it, they said, go to your classes. So I thought, just go along, they've got my name, went to my class. 2 weeks later, really enjoyed my 2 weeks. I got called into the, there was 3 tutors in an office. And they said, listen, you're doing fine the last 2 weeks, but we've got no record of you. And I said, to be honest, when I came, I thought it was an open day, not an induction. And they were just looking at me and they were looking at each other. I thought, so you just came in on the day of induction and you've stayed? I said, yeah. So they said, can we have a few minutes? And I could see them in the office just laughing. I went back in and they said, it's just unheard of. So come with your portfolio, your qualification, and then I asked, I said, can I have my grants as well, because I need my grants. And they were just like, what? And then I got my grants in the end, got my place in, and I went on from there, studied there, foundation. So at uni, I met my wife Sue at the time, and we've been together now 30 years. We've got a son who was born in '96, and we're both very proud of him. When I left uni, I had several small jobs, and I thought volunteering would be good for my CV and keep me busy. I seen an advertisement for Larsh, and I thought, yeah, and that was it. I came in '94 to volunteer. So in '94, this is where I started volunteering. So I'm pretty sure this was the weeding room. It was either this one or where the garden room is now. But I was working with Tommy Charman,
on the weaving, which was tough at times because I didn't have a clue about weaving, but I really enjoyed working with Tommy. There was an opening for the craft rooms, and Grace, who was the room leader at the time, she knew I'd studied art and stuff like that, so she said, why don't you apply for it? And I did, and that's when I started with the craft rooms. And I haven't really left the craft rooms. I'm still in and around the craft room. So I was still applying for jobs at the time. I was volunteering, but after I got the job in the craft room, I suppose it was then I really got the bug for L'Arche. I was, built up friends and relationships with people, and I thought, I didn't think I'd be here 27 years later, but I definitely thought at the time I could spend my time a long time here.
Right, can you just lift that one? And can you take this out?
So, Paul and the Ark is one of the people that have been here longer than me.
Yeah.
It was a couple of years.
It was, yeah.
But you've been in the garden quite a long time.
So all the team are working on the garden at the moment, and part of it is a communal area, so all the lawn's going to be the lawn there, and then this is going to be grassed, and we're going to have a fire pit as well, and as you can see, a pizza oven. So it's going to be a really good community area where people can get together. It's work in progress at the moment, but it's moving quite fast at the moment. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. So this is where they come down and bug everyone in the office. Everyone from Kat on reception, Helen, Carol, Stacey. You can't see Stacey at the moment, but she's making a fool of herself dancing. She doesn't mind doing that for the corps members. That's what it's about, as you can see.
So this is the top floor. This is where craft rooms and computer room is, and also the games, glee club, karaoke. This is where it's held. Several people on. So there's several people on Zoom enjoying themselves in there. So this is the craft rooms. So this is where we do a whole range of anything from making cards to pictures. You can see some of the pictures around the building. Some of the templates now for people to work on. So we've got the template and people will colour that. Yeah, we'll make cards from that. And that's how people come in and buy the cards, and they see people, which is really good. People from the community come in and buy the cards, which is exactly what we want. The same with the weaving. The old style looms. I haven't got a clue how to set them up, but the likes of Jackie Brown, who was here when I was here, when first here or within a few years, she knows how to do it. So that's some of the weaving is, and you can see the material. So we'll make anything from bags to scarves, anything at all. And this is where Peter Brennan usually sits. Peter Brennan's always here. And he gets on with pictures. He also does he also produces cards with us. He also makes the cushions. He done the beetle cushions that you've seen around the place. Missing Peter at the moment. You can see some of the candles are being made at the moment. So any kind of designs, smelly candles, colourful candles, and they start from, you can see the chunks. So these are types of the activities that we want to continue, and the guys really love doing. And they come up with ideas as well. You can see a mixture, the jams that were made in the garden room from some of the fruit that was produced here. So yeah, it's activities all the time. I've been an assistant since '94. Through that time, room leader, team leader, and now locality manager. There were some difficult times around 2011, 12, where there was a restructure and we basically lost nearly everyone back to the houses. Colin, Mark, Max, Tina. Yeah, that was really difficult, plus losing all the assistants applying for the jobs. It was a difficult time. But, you know, over the last, I'd say 6 years, it's become better and better. You know, I became a locality manager. People are starting to come back. You know, the likes of Colin, the likes of Max, Mark Cowan, they're all coming back. Plus, we've got this new energy that's here. A mixture of ages, which is what I think we want. I've got a great relationship with the two Pauls from Shield Road. That's another locality we took in 2015, and we're building up and going stronger and stronger. And this is what you know, it was really difficult at that time, losing core members, you know, and assistants, friends. But the last 5 or 6 years has just been really good for me. I've learnt a lot, probably more in the 5 or 6 years than anything. You know, I haven't learnt more about the people I work with, the core members, but you know, and Mark Harris, he'll come in and he'll make me a cup of tea in the morning, and he'll have a moan with me, and I really enjoy it. I'm here in the office, but I'm still part of the rooms. I feel like I'm still part of the rooms. People come in all the time and have a chat with me, have a moan, and I have a moan at them. And that's what I really enjoy. So there was difficult times, like I mentioned, and there was times that, reflecting, I thought, you know, I was going to leave. Some of them. I mean, I think the reasons why I stayed was because the relationships I've got. I enjoyed aspects of the job, and the friends that I'd made, assistants. Some are still here today. You know, Julie Graham and Paul Sargent. Grace is now back, and I'm glad I'm you know, I think back now, I'm glad I'm stayed. You know, I was given more responsibility. I'm now locality manager, and I think I've got great support from the likes of Stacey and Carol and Joy, who's it's only recently, but I feel like I've learnt an awful lot from the last few years. Just so much of the job, but I still haven't lost that you know, connection with the core members that are here and the new core members coming in. You know, building relationships with them, getting to know them. It's just seeing how people interact. That's why I'm here, really. So, and that's why I think I'll be here for quite a few more years. I can't. I've got no date for leaving until it'll be till I'll probably retire. I didn't know we were filming then.
Oh my God, how fabulous was that? Oh, Chris, well done. That was so lovely, so touching, so moving. And well done, Joy, for filming that. It was wonderful. Next week's journey is going to feature Paul Cowan, so watch out for that. So we've got some responses now to your messages and some little things that we want to do, some shout outs. So Max's tablet unfortunately didn't last too long, probably screen overload, but it was soon replaced with a newer, better model. And here's her reaction to getting her new flashy iPad.
Here you go. It's a better one.
Can you open it for me?
Oh, that was lovely. So in the harbour, baby Michael, Joanne and Stacey have been enjoying seeing friends from all over the UK and beyond during the last UK prayer and silence. So this is a weekly prayer group, and if you would like more information, please get in contact with Julia. Yvonne was visited by her sister Anita and they had a chat in the garden. Now, last week, Deborah from Green Lane asked me when we are having a party and I didn't answer properly. So Deborah, at the moment, I can't say, but as soon as it is safe to do so, me and you will party. So watch out for that. And then from Green Lane, Betty said hello. Hiya, Betty. Okay, so that's all from me this week. Thank you for joining me. And I'll finish with a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Stay safe and well.